When you set out to make a limb-ripping, blood-spurting zombie reality competition series in which YouTubers take on the undead, what's the most important factor?
It dictates how the gameplay will be. So we looked for months, actually. We looked up north in Northern California, we looked in Detroit, and then we found this amazing solution that was just south of Los Angeles, waiting for us, an abandoned hospital. I mean, what's spookier than that? Robert Kennedy Memorial Hospital in Hawthorne, California. 250,000 square feet of empty crazy. So we got 118 cameras to film with. It's a combination of remote cameras that we had installed, GoPros, E&G cameras, and the kids themselves have some cameras they can shoot with. We had over 250 zombie extras over the whole experience. We want to create a sort of a cast that has a lot of variety, a huge discrepancy sort of culturally with what they're bringing, and also just some different personalities, the quiet kid, the louder kid, the person that may not seem brave but's really strong underneath. We think about all of that during casting, so when the scenarios come up, we can bring those elements out of their personality and see how they react to those scenarios.
My talent agency, United Talent Agency, they brought the project to me and they said, hey, here's this zombie show, this amount of money, you want to do it? I was like, oh, it sounds great, it sounds fun. I thought I was going to be on set for 12 hours, you know, go back to a hotel, go back to set. Had no clue that I was going to be locked in a hospital for 72 fucking hours.
Tré shouldn't have been caught off guard completely because Experiment 88 is actually the second Fight of the Living Dead. The first edition was shot at Sybil Brand Institute, a now-shuttered women's jail in Los Angeles, in the spring of 2014 and premiered on geek-friendly streaming service Con TV in March 2015.
The cast knew that they were signing up for something similar to what we did last year, but that was all the information that we gave them. Beyond that, they had no clue for how long or what the actual specifics of the experience would be.
They told us, Pat, bring your bags, we're taking you to a hotel, all this other stuff. You're like, okay! And you're just standing there like a lamb to the slaughter.
We're upstairs doing like a photo shoot, and they came and just took us out with these big guys and
like tactical
masks.
SWAT kind of out. Like it was intense. Never signed the waiver, kids.
It wasn't easy getting people to sign on to Fight of the Living Dead the first time around back in 2014.
We pitched around the traditional way of pitching to various linear networks and whatnot, and most people didn't quite get it. They didn't understand how it would come off, how it would work, and the usual, what are the stakes, and zombies aren't real, and all this kind of stuff. So we decided, you know what, we very much believe in this concept. We're going to make it ourselves. So we raised a little bit of outside money, and we made it ourselves. And we have partnered with a YouTube channel, Black Box TV at the time, and launched it with them and 6 different YouTubers. And it did tremendously well. And off of that, YouTube Red, the timing was perfect because that team had just come together and they said, we love this. It's a proven concept. The IP is great. And so they allowed us to do the show that we kind of always dreamed of doing.
The biggest learning from last year to this year is that the cast is much smarter than us. We thought they were going to have trouble dealing with the whole scenario that we had set up. They got out of it in about 4.5, 5 minutes, and then we had to lock them into the sort of wing that they were at to contain them to make sure that they didn't get out of that scenario too quickly. And that's sort of the precedent for what we set up this year as well. We realized that they're going to work at a much different pace than we think. We just have to come up with a macro plan in case the micro falls apart.
One of the things they tell you before you start the game, this is not real zombies. So my problem is I was more scared, I guess, of just like trying to make sure that I don't take it across the line in the way I react to fighting the dead.
We warned the cast that they had to be a little bit gentle on our zombies, but in a lot of scenarios, the adrenaline took over and they actually hit them, they punched, they ran. Worst thing that happened is that people accidentally broke down a wall, which was pretty unexpected. A huge gated, soldered wall, metal gate that got ripped apart between a zombie sort of chasing after them, which was pretty insane. And that happened within the first hour of the show. So we were like, what's going on? We gotta rethink everything. And then luckily after that, we had a talk with our extras and we decided to take a little bit of a different approach with the engagement because we didn't want the kids to get hurt.
The YouTubers involved in Fight of the Living Dead appear to have emerged from the experience physically unscathed, and it doesn't appear to be hurting their careers either.
I've gotten so many tweets from so many different people, both fans that have been around forever and fans that I literally just made today, that tweeted me like, hey, I saw the first episode today, I'm rooting for you, you've got yourself a new fan, and I did not expect that. You can't scare me. You can't scare me. I've got, see, we're all friends here.
People feel like reality feels very inauthentic. And our whole thing right now is to come up with an inauthentic backstory and then create authentic experiences for the kids and get out of the way. The emotion is real. When they cry, they cry. When they scream, they scream. When they run, they run. We are creating a scenario right now for season 3 that would be a completely different type of location. Instead of it being sort of the dealing with the claustrophobic confines of a building, we want to bring it out into an open space and see what that feels like, and go something that is pretty unexpected if they'll allow us.